This message is just a little bit late because we recently passed our 1,000 subscriber mark, and I really wanted to send a little message to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed, because we've been on quite a long journey with this and produced quite a lot of content so far. But as I see it, this is kind of just the beginning, and everything that we've done so far has really been about sort of, in a way, proving the concept as much to myself as to anyone else. And to have received so much support and positive feedback actually from people saying this is exactly what they've been looking for, this is what they need. The idea of turning walking into a sport, not a race, but a sport that people can do, that they can feel fulfilled by. It's quite a simple idea really, but when you're kind of starting down that path, you do need a bit of guidance as to what you should do, how you should do it. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed, and we're already over the 1,000 mark, and we're going to be looking to kick in with some new content. The Sport Walk Show came to an end for the first series in late spring, I think it was early May, something like that, and don't worry, it will be back, possibly in a slightly different format, to be honest. Anyway, do you like my trail? This is part of what I call my backyard trails, although this actual bit isn't in my backyard, it's a bit further afield, but it's part of a sort of a regular training route that I use. So actually, it's funny me telling you about this trail, because one of the things that we want to start doing is a lot more trail-based content. So that is going exploring and showing you some of the trails that we're exploring. We want to bring you along on some of our walks, show you some of the places we're going, give you some inspiration, give you some ideas about some of the things that you can do, some of the ways you can turn what might just be an ordinary walk in the countryside or in the mountains or anything like that into a kind of a little mini challenge that is not something you have to train for, but it's something you can use as part of your everyday walking that just keeps you motivated. Building that challenge into your everyday walking is probably one of the most beneficial things you can do as a sport walker, because it keeps everything in the present. It's not like this thing that you do, the reason for being as a sport walker, is somewhere in the future, 6 months away, 3 months away, whatever it is. It's like every day is a challenge, every walk is a challenge. So yeah, we want to open up the kind of content that we'll be making, move away a little bit from the how-to stuff, to be honest, and get more into the zone where we are providing you with some kind of motivation, some inspiration, also sharing some of the places that we go to, sharing some of the landscapes that we see, and hopefully just kind of encouraging more and more people to take up sport walking. The other thing that we're really keen to do, and something that is going to be one of the kind of the first things that we try and knock out in this sort of new era of content, is going to be to really make a pitch and reach out for people who are not yet sport walkers. So for me, the scope, and this is one of the aims of Sport Walk, is to build a community. There is already a community of walkers throughout the world. It's probably one of the broadest communities of any kind of activity there is, because it's the simplest form of activity. But at the moment, the vast majority of people who walk do so for recreation, or do so as hill walkers, long distance walkers, hikers, that sort of thing. So the concept of sport walking hasn't really fully made its way out into the outside world yet, which is quite exciting, because that's what we're trying to do. So the hope in that is that we can kind of create this subgroup and build this community of sport walkers, which to all intents and purposes is like the community of ultra trail runners. And then from this, sport walking will grow, and it will grow. So the scope actually for people, not just to take on ultra challenges, but for people to take on challenges as walkers, I think personally, sport walking could be far bigger than ultra trail running, because there's just a larger number of people who are capable of doing it. And also, walking in the countryside, trail walking appeals to a wider number of people than perhaps trail running does. So anyway, that's kind of the tiramisu of ideas, things we want to achieve with Sport Walk, things we're going to try and make happen with Sport Walk. But for the time being, if you're doing Race to the King, have a good one, enjoy it. Thanks again for subscribing. I'm not going to say here's to the next 1,000 subscribers, because we're not in it for the subscribers. We're not in it for the numbers. We're in it to try and promote sport walking, and I'm massively grateful for all of the responses we've had, and all of the enthusiasm from everybody for what we're trying to do. So it means a lot. Thanks, and I shall see you again very soon.